Welcome, everyone. Today we are diving into a crucial skill for working with AI agents, setting up your first conversation. If you've ever felt like your AI went off track, it's usually because the initial expectations weren't set correctly. Let's get started and learn how to do it like a pro. Let's kick things off by defining what a successful chat setup actually looks like. When you first spin up an AI agent, like Claude Code, it's essentially a brilliant but completely unonboard employee. It has no idea what your project is, what your standards are, or what you're trying to achieve. If you just throw a vague request at it, it has to guess your intent. This is where most people fail. They get generic, unhelpful outputs because they didn't set boundaries. By intentionally setting up your conversation with a clear name, a defined role, and persistent context, you drastically reduce errors. We are going to learn how to steer the AI from the very first keystroke so it operates exactly how you need it to. Take a look at this flowchart. On the left, we have the unstructured approach. A new session starts, no context is provided, and the result is generic output or even hallucinations. But on the right, the green path shows our goal. By providing guided, structured context right at the start, we lead the AI directly to high accuracy and tailored code. Your setup dictates your success. Moving on to slide 2, naming conventions. This might seem trivial, but it is an absolute game changer for your workflow. When you start a chat, name it immediately. Why? Because these conversations are persistent and reversible. If you are working on integrating a payment gateway and tomorrow you need to fix an authentication bug, you don't want those contexts mixing. By using a simple command like Claude N payment integration, you create a dedicated workspace. If you forget to name it at launch, just type /rename in the chat. Days from now, when you need to jump back in, you can easily pull up the exact session using Claude R. It keeps your digital workspace clean and your AI's context laser-focused. This diagram illustrates the life cycle of a properly named session. You start by explicitly naming the session auth feature. You do your work, and maybe you close your terminal for the weekend. On Monday, you just type Claude, our auth feature, and boom, your context is fully restored, exactly as you left it. No digging, no lost work. Now, let's talk about persistent expectations. You shouldn't have to tell the AI what testing framework you use every single time you start a chat. That's where the Claude.md file comes in. Think of it as the employee handbook for your AI. It is read automatically at the start of every single session. You can generate one instantly by typing /init in your project. It will analyze your code base and set up the basics. But here is the expert tip: keep it lean. Include unique bash commands, your specific linting rules, and architectural decisions. Do not put entire API manuals in there, or you'll bloat your context window and the AI will start ignoring your instructions. Keep it under 200 lines for maximum adherence. Here we see the setup flow for persistent memory. You run /init, which creates your Claude.md file. You then customize it by adding your unique build commands and code style rules. The beauty of this is the final step. The AI silently reads this file every single time you start a session, ensuring your baseline expectations are always met. On slide 4, we look at shaping the AI's mind using roles and system prompts. By default, the AI is a helpful generalist. But if you are doing complex security audits, a generalist isn't enough. You need to give the AI a role. By starting your session with a flag like system prompt, you can explicitly say, "You're a senior Python security expert." This single instruction changes everything. It shifts the AI's internal probability engine to prioritize secure coding practices, rigorous testing, and a highly professional tone. It stops giving you beginner-level explanations and jumps straight into expert-level execution. You are setting the behavioral expectations before the conversation even begins. This decision tree is simple but powerful. When your system prompt defines a specific role like a security expert, the output flows to the top branch: precise, secure, and advanced code. If you skip this and use the default, you end up on the bottom branch, getting generic and basic responses. Always define the role. Now we arrive at the critical moment: crafting your initial user prompt. This is where you actually ask the AI to do the work. The golden rule here is specificity. Do not just say, "Fix my code." That forces the AI to waste time and context tokens blindly searching your project. Instead, scope the task precisely. Use the @ symbol to inject specific files directly into the AI's context. For example, say, "Fix the login bug in at auth.ts where session timeout causes a crash." You've given it the symptom, the exact location, and the expected outcome. Providing this level of detail upfront drastically reduces the need for course correction later and massively increases your chances of getting a perfect fix on the very first try. Look at the components of a perfect initial prompt. You start with the user prompt, which immediately branches into 3 necessary actions: scoping the task, referencing exact files using the @ symbol, and describing the symptom. When these 3 elements combine, they form a clear expectation, leading directly to a fast and accurate resolution. Slide 6 covers a pro-tier tactic, setting verification expectations. This is the single highest leverage thing you can do. AI is great at writing code that looks correct, but you need code that executes correctly. You must explicitly tell the AI how to check its own work. At the end of your prompt, add instructions like, run the test suite after implementing, or address the root cause of this error log and verify the build succeeds before stopping. By doing this, you create an autonomous loop. The AI will write the code, run the tests, see it failed, fix its own mistake, and only return to you when it has actually succeeded. You are shifting the QA burden from human to machine. This diagram shows the verification loop. The AI writes the code and checks if you asked for verification. If no, you get a red box, unverified code that you have to test yourself. If yes, the AI runs the tests. If it fails, it loops back to write code. It only breaks out to the green box verified code once it passes its own checks. Let's tie this all together with a real-time use case. Imagine you need to refactor a critical, legacy authentication module. If you get this wrong, it's a massive security risk. Step 1. You open your terminal and type Claude N authorfactor system prompt. You are a security auditor. Instantly, you have an isolated, named workspace, and the AI is in a high-security mindset. Step 2 happens invisibly. The AI reads your Claude.md and knows you used just for testing. Step 3. Your prompt. Refactor at auth.ts to use modern JWTs. Run the auth test suite and ensure 0 regressions. The outcome. The AI audits the file, rewrites it securely, runs the tests, and hands you a verified, production-ready module. That is the power of setting expectations. This sequence diagram walks through our use case. The user starts the session with a name and a system prompt. Claude immediately reads the Claude.md file. The user then sends the specific prompt. Claude analyzes, writes the code, and then, crucially, executes the tests to self-verify. Finally, it delivers the secure, verified code back to the user. As we wrap up, remember that managing your conversation is an active process. Course correct early if the AI starts going down the wrong path. Just hit escape to interrupt it, or use /rewind to undo its changes. If your session is running long and getting sluggish, use the /compact command to compress the history and free up token space. Being deliberate with your names, roles, and verification steps is what separates a beginner from a senior AI developer. I hope this deep dive has transformed how you will approach your next AI session. To truly master these skills and elevate your career, I invite you to like, subscribe, and visit quicktechie.com for premium certification prep, including Q&A banks, full ebooks, audiobooks, full-length training, and interview guides. See you in the next lesson. Our final flowchart covers session maintenance. If your active session goes off track, take the left path, hit escape or /rewind, refine your prompt, and continue. If the context window gets full, take the right path, run /compact to summarize your history, freeing up space to continue working efficiently. Stay in control of the loop.